All right, can we go on YouTube? I'm gonna change the thumbnail and
Yeah, I
stuff.
just told you you're on YouTube already. I made it live
Uh,
like 15 minutes early.
all
Yeah.
right. Can we,
Right.
is Mitch on?
I don't know. She doesn't have a Zoom. Remember, we
All
can't
right,
get her access to anything.
can we go on YouTube? I'm gonna change
Why
the
not? We got to get
thumbnail
our access
and
to
Yeah, I
stuff.
just told you you're on YouTube already. I made it live
Uh,
like sorry, I had on that. Um, you're already on YouTube. You can change your thumbnail on YouTube.
that's good on
Here.
YouTube.
Yeah. What do you mean you don't see it on YouTube? You're live on YouTube.
No, it's good. It's good.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah.
And I can
All
kill the
right.
screen if you want.
All right. Oh man. All right, we are on YouTube.
Yes, I told you about 3 times. Yep. Did you
Uh,
find the link?
yeah, I just need the screen
Okay.
approved.
It should let you now. Question mark, hopefully.
Screen one. No.
Did you get more cards behind you?
Yep.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna send out messages letting folks know that you're live.
Okie doke. GLW. Um, that's not the right chart. There we go. I'm a real American. Fight for the rights of every man. All right. Fight for what's right. Dun, 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 dun. All right, let me see if I got the chat up. Courage and freedom will set you free. Make sure you hit the like button before we get started. And if you do, oh, I gotta turn the volume off. That helps. And it should be ready to go. Hello, Susan C. Susan, where are you? Austin? Well, let me see if they posted on. Oh, you know what? You guys aren't seeing this. Whoops. Wrong screen. There we go. Trying to fit everything on this monitor. We are live. We're supposed to be live at 3:30. Technically. But I reckon we could be live a little early. It was supposed to be at 3:30, but it'd be okay. Man, did anyone see that Newsmax stock? It's up 24x from the IPO. And we started seeing some calls in that other stock today. What is it? CRWV. The IPO market is hot. Oh my God, CoreWave. Oh my gosh. Did anyone buy those CoreWave calls? Wow, that stock was like 40 bucks when they bought them. 41 and change. Wow, CoreWave. Oh man. Why didn't I buy those? I looked at it and I go, oh yeah, that's a new one. Wow, what do they buy those core wave calls at? Oh, I have FOMO bad right now. Oh no. I didn't buy them. I looked at them and I was like, oh, core wave. Oh, that's a new one. Blah, blah, blah. They bought the, what did they buy? The April 50s? Do I want to even look how much they paid? I don't, but I do. How much did you pay, core wave? 440? How much are they now? Oh, no, they can't be. They bought them like 20% ago. Hold on. I gotta look at this. This is too crazy. They bought them like 2.5 to 3.5 bucks. All right, well, volatility is so high. I guess they didn't move much. All right, let's get into the action today. It's a big day, and if you're day trading, I mean, this is action that you love. Like, this is the best day trading environment you're probably ever going to see. Let's look at these moves today because this is just. Oh, you know what? It's not 3:30 yet. Let me see if they posted. I don't think. Yeah, they posted. If you're day trading, you must be making a killing in this market because look at this action we got. So at the opened, we sold off, right? Bonds and yen were up. Bonds and yen dipped. Market, rip your face off. Then we pull back to the open, bouncing again. I mean, it is a day trading paradise. Now, I will say I got in trouble for recommending. Apparently, I can't share my trades anymore for SPX and XXP, which I know y'all want because look, we're at 100% already. I can only share for Diamond Club right now because we're beta testing it. And I can't share on the free Telegram because there's another, I guess someone came out with a SPY trading program. So they were saying my trades were basically overshadowing it to be PC. So I can only share with the Diamond Club. Option pick, folks, I'm trying to do it as well with y'all, but I sent Diamond Club people the code for the SPX XXP trader. And I will say, and we'll go over this, it was not easy this morning. We weren't getting data from the exchange. So it was a little weird. We couldn't get the market makers move. Thankfully, we got it for SPX. XXP is still messed up. And we're trying to make it for TradingView. So if you're a Diamond Club member, shoot me an email. Let me know if you're up and running and good to go. But we got in today, and I'll show why. But you can see an up arrow here, and then we took some heat, right? We did. Took some heat, and then I actually got a little bit more aggressive and did more. And then we had the big rally, and now we're good. We don't have to do anything. But I found it weird today is if you look at the SPX, a lot of people are asking me about the market makers move. Look at this here. For SPX, now it's only $9 because obviously market closes in what, 30 minutes. So we're at max profit, right? But if you look at XXP, Yeah, I started a little early. Don't worry though. I'll repeat it. If you look at XXP today, I don't know if it's an April Fool's joke. It's really the exchange, the CBOE. But we're not getting no market maker move. We got none. So I basically just had to take 1/10 of the SPX. It was kind of screwed up, I'm not gonna lie. But if you have the scanner, you might have saw like a period where you had like a blackout period for like an hour or two. It's because the CBOE data was messed up. So nothing we can do, but if you have one of the scanners, you're probably like, what the hell? And I agree. Something was off with the CBOE. We'll have to figure out what happened. But it wasn't pulling data. I mean, it still did for the SPY, because obviously it's not an index. I mean, look how beautiful the SPY traded today. You know, you had your 10 a.m. gap down. You sell your bull put credit spreads. Boom. You're already up, 80, 90% in the first couple hours of the day. But for SPY, it was fine because it's an ETF, not an index. But look, see how it pulls up the data here? It wasn't. It was very weird for the indexes this morning. Very, very weird. And if you're wondering why the market rallied again, what you can do is go side by side to the VIX. So if you just want to do it on your own and you're not part of Diamond Club, here's a little guide. I'll explain it one more time. Then we'll get rolling again. So one more time. Turn off after hours. So basically all you're going to look to do, I would get the big boy scanner. Mitch, if you could post a link to the news flow scanner, or Jeremy on YouTube. So all you're going to do is wait 15-minute chart. And then at 10 a.m., especially if there's an economic number at 10, you'll get a little bit more volatility. So at 10 a.m., so that will be second 15-minute chart. If the VIX closes below the open, you want to get long the SPY, XXP. If you're doing spreads, I would not do the SPY because there's assignment risk. I would do XXP. If you're doing over 50 contracts in the XXP, or even 20 really, do the SPX. And what you want to do, instead of just buying calls outright, sell market maker at the money bull put credit spreads. If the VIX closes above at 10 a.m., so wait for that second 15-minute candle, you want to sell bear call spreads. The indicator we're working on will do it for you. It will give you an up arrow for long, down arrow for short, and it will give you the market maker's move at the time. It updates in real time, obviously. But that's being tested out for Diamond Club members. So hopefully I can answer that question. But yeah, I got a little I got some heat on me. I've been getting a lot of heat lately, just because there's, I guess, another someone else has I think they do S&P. So I think they do S&P, like options or something. SPY options, pardon me. But it's very hard, very, very hard doing that. No doubt about it. And very, very hard. This is a lot easier, right? This is a lot easier. I mean, on SPX, we got a 50-point cushion. For XXP, we got almost a $5 cushion. and you don't have to time it. There's no management. If you want to manage early, if you're in the red, you could close out like 75, 80%. I answered some emails, but I wouldn't do anything more than that. If anything after that, I would just take the L, just say screw it. All right, well, let's see what's hit. Some NVIDIA. Not a big NVIDIA fan. Options are so expensive. But if you look at, gosh, NVIDIA is strong. If you look at like the yen today, we dumped, the bonds dumped as well. It was a pretty good, I mean, I hate to say it was easy. But it was a pretty smooth market to day trade today. It's been a pretty easy market to day trade, even if you're doing the E-mini futures. And you could do the futures as well, by the way. Some Rivian calls. A lot of Rivian's had a pretty big move lately with Lucid. The Saudis got into Lucid, and there's a new SUV they did. That's a little stock. That Lucid, I mean, I wouldn't buy it, but I don't mind trading it. Tiva's had some calls on. They had some drug news today. All right, let's see what else. I don't think we have any earnings, do we? Let's see what's moving here on the big watch list. BE Energy, Unity, MSTR? Really? Wow. People are wanting that crypto, huh? Look at MSTR here. Jeez. Wow. Bitcoin flagging. Microsoft pop. How's my Google lifting again? Wow. How much are the MSTR weekly 300s? $5? No. 20 bucks? 12? Oof. God, they're pricey. Can never trade those. All right. Do we have any earnings today? I don't think we do. I did like all those airliner calls, by the way. So you got your dip today in the airliners. Had a lot of American calls. I day traded some of these for 58%. In American Airlines. Delta is next week. Wait, is Delta Friday or next week? Next week, right? They got downgraded. And they bought more calls today. April 45s was that big bet. No earnings today. Oh, darn it. Okay. It will start getting fun once we get earnings going on. Yeah. Yeah, Carson, they're so far out the money. It's just a hedge. Anytime you see super far out the money, puts, they're usually protection against a long stock position. Yeah, they bought, and I was buying. I went a little crazy with American today. So here's a little. Let me share with y'all how. No one's going to teach you this, so I'll teach it to you. So if you look at American Airlines, and we mentioned this in the option pit, there was about 14,000 weekly calls today, and the weekly 10.5s. All I did was bought the 10s. So they bought the 14.5s around 15 cents, or the 10.5s. I just did the 10s. And they bought them when the stock was, pretty much tanking. So what do you do when a stock's going down? You buy more. You buy more. And then we got a pretty big pop here. You know, it's a 40-cent pop in a $10 stock. So that's what, 4%? And you know, those calls moved up, you know, pretty good. So we just got bought more, bought more, bought more, bought more. I've been doing that. Every time a stock goes down, I've been buying more calls, and it has been working. Core wave, April 40s. So more core wave calls. Usually when these stocks squeeze, yeah, they're too wide. 60 cents wide. Can't trade them. Usually when a stock starts to squeeze, and the squeeze continues. Jeremy or Deanna, can we post a link or Mitch to the option pit if we have one?
We don't have one.
Oh, never mind. What is the Academy? Huh? I've never heard of Academy. Never heard of it. But yeah, that CRVW. Wow, super strong. Well, no earnings is going to make it boring. So what do you want to talk about? Yeah, CoreWave is the new IPO. NVIDIA owns a pretty big chunk of it. It had a pretty bad launch though. Wow, Wells Fargo is starting to go here. I just got 100 of OpenAI. I got 100,000 of OpenAI. I think I got it Monday. No, yeah, I had to send it in Friday. So they just closed another, I think it's like 40 billion funding round of OpenAI. So that should get the IPO market going. You look at Newsmax today, it's up, you know, gazillion%. The IPO market, they don't have options yet, do they? No. The IPO market should be pretty strong upcoming. Really don't love anything here. PDD. My good friend. PDD. The China ATR. April, oh, monthlies. I don't want to do monthlies. No. I'm gonna do weeklies. I don't want to do monthlies. Monthlies? That's so far away. That is a century away. BCS, no. Avgo, no. Is there anything that hit in the weeklies? I want to do some. You know what I realized? This might be, you know what? Jeremy or Deanna, can you mention on my channel everything is April showcasing today? That may be a bug with the exchange. But can you make a note on my thread, or Mitch, if you're listening, saying all the option orders today are April monthly? And that is incorrect. I bet you the exchange data's down, but it's only showing April monthly expiration. Same with the penny. So there must be some bug with the CBOE today. With the data. Maybe an April Fool's joke. Something happened. It's not showing any other expirations. I knew something was up this morning when I wasn't getting option data. How's our... Oh, I don't have to manage the S&P. Up 7 grand today. I was up around 8,500, but Tesla pulled back from the highs. So it was not a $10,000 day. Tesla's down at what, 4 or 5 from the highs. So my Tesla honey poop kind of stalled out on me, unfortunately. But yeah, I think something's wrong with the with the CBOE. It's probably their issue. No one posted that. Mitch or Jeremy, if you're listening, can you post in my thread for the
You're
scanner?
sorting it wrong. They're not all April. Sean just checked.
Yeah, so what is the issue?
Oh, yours are April.
Yeah.
That's weird. None of ours are. Okay.
Yours is working? Really?
Yeah, mine's totally fine.
Let me log out. Why do I get the bad? I made it and I'm getting the bad one. I have the raw data still. I still get the raw data.
Sorry, we were trying to fact check you so you didn't, look silly, but yeah.
Oh,
Did you try clearing your browser, like your cookies and stuff?
no.
Mm. Well,
I don't know how to do that.
second one. Nope. Here we go. Sean says entries change the entries per page. So instead of 50, why does it
I feel
hate
like a
you?
dummy.
No, it just hates you for some reason.
How do
I don't
I
know.
how
None
do
of
I
us
get
can
it 50?
replicate that. Um, it
So
looks
what
like
did y'all
everyone's,
get? Did y'all just get Microsoft? May 2nd, 405s?
yeah, it looks like it's mixed in the chat. Some people are seeing some stuff, others are seeing other things. I'll just send a message to your developers real quick, but no idea.
Avgo? No. Good Lord. Avgo is like going to Chili's and trying a new menu item when you know you should just get fajitas or ribs. Don't do it. I mean, you can. I just feel like there's no edge in Avgo. You might as well just trade the cues. Yeah, I'm not getting it. All right, well. Anywho, that was weird. Banks are holding up very well, by the way. As long as the banks hold, gang, this market is not going to dip. Wells Fargo, nice little move here in Wells. Looking at Wells Fargo. Reboot the device. Well, I can't because I'm live, you know. Then it would kick me off. I still have the raw data. I still get the raw data from the exchange. I just have to filter it because I see like 1,000+ orders a day. But I still get the raw data. What was the last thing you guys got that hit the scanner? What was the last thing y'all got that hit the scanner? Micron? Nike? Good Lord, what Nike? Oh man. Nike? What is the Nike bet? Nike 65s? Oh wow. Is Billy, oh Lord, Bill Ackman trying again? All right. Bill Ackman's back. I mean, he's down probably what, 20%? So is the Nike May 65s. We don't get earnings. I actually like that. Because everyone's bearish on Nike because all the tariff news. You don't get earnings. They should be what, 2.25? Maybe 280. Let's take a look. Man, I'm good, huh? I hate to toot my own horn, but 285 by 290. I know how they price these. I'll take a look here in Nike. A lot of out the money calls. So here's one thing. Let me just show y'all what I don't like, and then we'll get into else. So the number one thing I always like to look at Obviously, Nike has a bearish chart. You know, the charts are all opinionated, but the chart's going lower, I guess we can say. One thing I do not like is you see how there's 0 calls in open interest that are in the money in Nike. So in the money calls means, let's say a trader bought calls, they're holding them in open interest, and then the stock goes their way. They're not selling them, they're holding them. It does have a lot of out the money calls in open interest, meaning maybe traders have bought calls before, and guess what? It has not worked, right? Not worked at all. So they're down money on all these. So I don't like seeing that. Ideally, like you see in the put side, how there's a lot of in the money puts, meaning the put traders have been right and they're still holding their puts in open interest. So you want to see that. So I don't love, obviously, counter trend. I like Nike because it's Bill Ackman and there's always potential news. But what I do not love is these calls are at the money. So we can say they're okay. But is it a high probability trade? No, not at all. Is it a more speculative trade that could work out and could work out big? Yeah, especially if you have Bill Ackman come out with news. But I like if I was trading it, I would only do like a small position because counter trend out the money, not looking too great. Let me look at this Qualcomm that hit. Oh, I got an idea. Go to the 3-dot menu. So I'm not saying Nike's bad. I'm just saying it's a lower probability counter trend trade that, is going to be, you can do it. I just wouldn't bet a ton. And that's the most important thing in trading is position size. Catch. Delete browsing history. Then click on check image, catch images. All right, let me see if this works. And then I want to look at Qualcomm's. No, still didn't work. All right, let me look at this Qualcomm's. Did Qualcomm just hit for y'all? Did Qualcomm hit for y'all? The April 157 calls? Did y'all get Qualcomm's? Man, I feel like I'm trading a blind because my scanner's not working. uh no. Oh man, I'm VRT is too volatile. I mean, not too volatile, but it's usually the options aren't that liquid. Yeah, too wide in the options. Let me look at this Qualcomm just real quick. I don't know, it caught my eye. Qualcomm, same thing actually. Do you get earnings? No. So Qualcomm, kind of the same thing. Out the money calls, lots of open interest, no in the money open interest. See how there's basically none. So again, counter trend. Try to do more high probability stuff with this market. That or weekly options. What about the weeklies? Did anything hit in the weeklies today? What about the weeklies? Give me some weeklies. CRVW just, wow. I shouldn't have been a wimp. Should have bought the stock. I should write that on my finger. just or my hand, just buy the damn stock. CRVW gone. If the options are wide, could always just do the stock, which I should have done. Bank? What was the bank? Oh, look at that bank. Hey, hey, we got a bank trade. All right. April 42s. All right. That might be something we can work with. All right. How much is it? $1.50? Not a ton of money, but I like the banks. I was just talking about the banks. We get earnings for 16. Okay, that's good. April 42s, $1.20. Not bad. I don't hate it. I don't hate these in Bank of America. I'm pretty bullish on financials. Yeah, we'll do a little. We could do a little bank. NBIS. Oh, geez. You got me doing circles over here. I'll do like those bank calls, and you get earnings next week. Let's do bank a little small. Why don't we do Bank of America a little small size? Then we'll look at this NBIS. Let's do bank. Just do a 10 lot of the Bank of America. Let's try 119. Now we'll do 120. Instant filled. 118. All right. So we got filled in bank at 118. We got earnings 415. Let's just hold them through earnings. Only doing a 10 lot. So bank, April 1742 calls. Don't ask me about them. Why? Because I'm holding them through earnings. So holding them through earnings. No win, lose, or draw. What was this NBIS that hit? Okay. So bank will hold those through earnings. I mean, it's a bank. It's not going to move that much anyways. You might be saying, Lance, what's your profit target? None. Earnings. Either they double or they go to zero. I want to take some risk. What was the NBIS May monthlies? And I did not see them. Oh, because they were May. NBIS is a crazy stock, so let's see if we can this is a new IPO. Oh man. Oh Lord. Ooh, I like this. Okay. I like this kind of stuff. Very, very risky. Bottom fishing. Oh wow. Is this an AI stock? It's an AI, right? Holland AI. Oh Lord. So this is, I would consider Bank of America on the risk level like a 2 out of 10. This I would consider a 9 or 10 out of 10. What did they do in this? The May? Oh God. Ew. Ugh. Well, going back to my out the money call argument, you got a lot of them. You got no in the money calls. Uh, this may be even a little too crazy for me. When do they have earnings? I'm assuming, yeah, we do. It's May. Of course, we're gonna get earnings. Um, oh, God, this is horrible. I'll do, it was the May 27s. Um, I'll do a couple contracts. I'm gonna do the May 25s though. I'll do literally a 2 lot just to track it. Maybe ahead of earnings, I'll get in more. So I bought the May 25s. I don't really love that one. If it goes down to like $1, I'll probably do like a 20 lot. When do they report? 425. But this is a very speculative. I don't like buying calls when the stock's up 7% either. I kind of feel like a sucker personally, but what can I do, Did United hit? You can buy the stock if you want. Did y'all just get United Airlines? April 30s, weekly 30s. CRVW more. CRVW more calls. I just got some United weeklies. I'm not sure if they're clean though, because I can't see the scanner. And there's the bell. Wow, that went by quick. Well, I apologize for the errors. Hopefully the exchange is back to normal tomorrow. But we had a good day. About 7 grand. Again, I did have some losers. I will be 1,000% transparent. Loser in Intel. That's happened and will happen. But a good day, thanks mostly to Tesla. My TSLL is down 17%. It was up. Oh, that's weird. Where did Tesla close? Tesla was up like 15 plus earlier. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Am I mute? Oh, I think I just hit the mic. Sorry about that. All right, well, hopefully we're back to normal tomorrow and my scanner and the data works. That CRVW is something else. Hopefully they'll get the options tight. Wow. They already are having to go to the strikes and add more strikes. First day of option trading, they made that bad boy explode 41%. Wow. You could have got the IPO on Robinhood. I think they priced it at what? Did anyone get the IPO in CoreWave? Did they price it at 50? Did anyone get part of the IPO? I think they priced it at 50 on Robinhood. And then they gapped. I thought it was 50, maybe 45. So now you got the IPO, you're up. Just took a little bit. Look at United. United, huge gap fill. After all that Luigi, whatever his name is, shooting, and the CEO, stock's actually recovered. Oh, you got in at 40? Oh my goodness. Really? Well, wow. And that was Robinhood, so public. Good deal. So the IPO market is back. Look at Newsmax. It opened at what, 10? 233. Bitcoin's up. I mean, it's pretty much risk on, right? Risk on. So if you're bullish, I know this morning I sounded very perma bullish in the option pit. I was Even I felt a little silly this morning. I felt like Tom Lee. He always goes on CNBC saying the bottom's in. Bitcoin will go to 300,000 and stocks will rally 50%. But I mean, when you have IPOs going up this much, when you have crypto holding up, you had some nice rallies and Max sevens. You had Google strong, Tesla starting to go again. I mean, it could be painting the perfect picture. Nvidia, nice move here. Nvidia off the low. I mean, starting to look a little bullish here. CRDO. Oh, I missed that one yesterday. Oh, I made a note too to try to buy them at $1.50. Wow, they're 220 now. And you got to be a little quick and just try not to sell on dips. Let's see what else we got in the chat. NBIS. Yeah, kind of going back to the IPO thing, right? If IPOs rally, that one, since it's AI and a new IPO, that NBIS will rally too. Yeah. So all those kind of high flyers usually move in sync with each other. Like if you look at what's leading on the watch list, look at like the top few stocks: INQ, Oklo, VST, Tesla, SMR, Big Bear, Lyft, Gap, Burrito, Net, Snap, Supermicro, MSTR, NBIS, BE, Canopy Dope. Basically all kind of the highly shorted, GameStop, Hood, right? Kind of all the crazy stocks are up a lot. So that's a sign that risk is on. Risk is on is good. Risk on is good. What we don't want is a huge swoosh down and kind of just the market get crippled. But this is some, Meta right back up. GitLab, PayPal, Supermicro. So this is a real good sign. You basically had two bottoming days in the market. And remember, markets do not bottom on Friday. So if Monday was the bottom, right, your next level should be 5,700 or 570 in the S&P. That's 9 points. And that refills basically the gap from, what is it, Friday? And then 575. So you're looking at SPX, just 5,700. It's a big round number too. Sounds good. So two bottoming days. Where's vol? Vol coming down. VIX, look at that, 2 days straight. VIX down on the day, which is good for premium selling. But yeah, should be good. Should be good. Continue. Volatility is good as well. So especially if you're day trading or like me, I've been selling premium in the indexes. You're going to get more. You have the past couple of days. You've had some really good price action. So you got to like that. You have dips, rallies, all that kind of jazz. Big down days, dip days, sell-offs, ups, downs. We've got a lot of good intraday action. If you're, pretty active. Pin? Oh, Pin. Brad, how much was Pin calls? Yeah, they were very, very wide, Richie. I looked at them this morning when they first hit the scanner in CR. WV, I guess should have just closed the eyes and pray to get filled. I mean, I should have, obviously looking back, but at the time I was like, oh, it went up, or they opened the options and it was wide, but they'll tighten them up. I guess tomorrow they're going to open up more strikes. They'll tighten those options up as well and try to get them priced right. So it looks like there's a little bit of panic today in the market makers. But I see y'all really like Nike, huh? We'll see. If they start hitting more Nike, then I'd be more aggressive and more confident. But let's just make sure Nike's not just the one trick pony. So it could be that. But we'll see. I mean, I think everyone is so bearish right now, and everyone thinks that retail, China, all that stuff related is so bad. I mean, even like Ford, I bought some Ford calls today, and GM. I didn't buy GM, I bought Ford. But I think everyone's so bearish on autos and clothes and China and chips and AI right now that, it's kind of already priced in and the market's forward looking. So I don't know. I'm leaning bullish. And remember, you have bank earnings next week, transportations like Delta, and then you have more banks the following week. Bank, Goldman, JP, Fargo, Citi. And then you start getting Netflix. So you have a good story going forward of the market. Obviously, they need to be good earnings and all that jazz, but you do have an upcoming catalyst for stocks to move. Hopefully higher, because I put a lot of money in the market. Up in here, all up in here. I wish I could say I bought the market here and here, but I put a lot of money in my big account. I would say here, or I'll show you in the IWM. They did the IWM at 202. So that's up in here range. I did a lot of buying. So we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward. All right, let me open up the YouTube. All right, that should be it. A-Lab? Oh yeah, A-Lab. I saw that one out the get-go. A-Lab's another new IPO. Good find, Richie. Yeah, A-Lab was right off the jump, right? Like right at the open. Yeah, it was. Yeah, so that's another one. A-Lab is another AI stock. It's basically 50% off discount, right? So you're starting to see some people come in. Are they going to be right? I don't know, especially some of these new stocks that you really don't have a huge history of. But you are starting to see some people speculate in the highly speculative names. So that's good. We haven't really seen this. We've been seeing like a lot of put buying, a lot of hedging, but you're starting to see a little bit of speculative stuff, right? VRT. I mean, I think that's like an AI, if I'm not mistaken. A Toast, a payment processor. Excuse me. Not a ton, but a little bit. A new IPO, this one, some stuff. Oh, you did next week, Actella. Nice. Yeah, I like the banks. I like the banks. I think no one's really looking at the banks either, so you could get some action there. All righty, gang. I think that's it. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. So if I come on a little early going forward, you'll be the first one to know. You'll have all that kind of jazz out there. If you're a Diamond Club member, Shoot me an email if you've been, I know today, obviously with the data was a little messed up, but shoot me an email later this week. I think they sent out the code and installation video and all that jazz. Um, play with it these next few days and let me know your feedback. The trading view version is extremely difficult. I'll show you a little sneak peek, but we were having lots of hardships with it because trading view, it's not like a broker house. So I'm assuming their VIX data is a little bit more hard to get. So we got the market makers move on trading view. It's just not super sexy yet, to say the least. It just got out of bed. The hair is all messed up. So Jeremy's been working on that, but at least we got it because the code would not work that great. And then we'll go forward there. But look at y'all already saying hit the like. St. Pete High Hopes. Good question. So it's basically going to show you the strikes to do. So we did dollar wide strikes. And then for SPX, it's $5 wide strikes because that's all it has. And the options are $5 wide. So the pink or the red, you sell. The green, you buy. So that's what the lines are for. I don't know if it's pink on your end or red. I had to do my computer for color blindness. So basically the red you sell, the green you buy. And then for SPX, it will default to $5 wide. And for XXP, it'll be $1 wide, obviously. Good. Yeah, I saw Newsmax. I mean, I don't know. Insane. I mean, I'm telling you, this is starting to get a little crazy with these moves. So it's all good. It's all an appetite for risk, which in a market that has had no risk. I mean, and if you look at Johnson and Johnson today, I know they had news, but you know, a lot of dividend funds are obviously getting crushed. So if they sell dividend stocks, what are they going to buy? You know, risky stocks, right? And I think you could see the Qs, really start to lead that way higher. And the Mag 7s, you got what, 3 weeks? And they all start reporting earnings. And stocks usually move on earnings 4 times a year. So you're starting to get some good pieces to the puzzle together, Yeah, they got that court denied. All right, everyone, I'm going to wrap up. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button before you leave.
Hey, you have to intro something. Remember, we're running a special promo just for you because you asked us to. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, guys, so Lance has a very special promotion that he's showing you guys how Wall Street and all the big names are taking advantage of pretty much everyday people like you and how to get around it. So if you guys want to stick around, we're just going to play that a little bit, get you guys in on a discount. I don't know when the closeout is. I want to say it's midnight tonight, but if you stick around for just a few minutes, you can hang out with that. Otherwise, you are totally free to go, hang out with him tomorrow, all that good stuff. Yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you, Deanna. Do I have to do anything?
I'll get that set up in a second. I'm just going to take the screen.
Listen to Deanna. Because whatever she says, wow, look at my beard. Hey, I got to trim that up. Whatever she says goes. So just listen to her and she'll get you hooked up.
But never take my trade recommendations or else
But never take her trade recommendations.
$5,000 or whatever it was.
That is a true one. I've lost so many money.
Yeah,
No,
it's really bad.
I got to run. I literally have an
All right.
appointment.
Yeah, no, you're good. I got it. All right, guys, I'm gonna snag the screen in 1 second. Just had a little weird technical issue with it. All right, I'm just gonna test real quick to see if the sound works. I just got a weird message saying sound may not work. If that's the case, then I'm gonna switch computers really quick just so you guys can get on that. But just give me 1 second to test that for you. All right, I'm just gonna test real quick to see if the sound works. I just got a weird message saying sound may not work. If that's the case, then I'm gonna switch computers really quick just so you guys can get on that. Just give me 1 second to test that.
No more space stocks, I'll tell you that much. But the profits, performance shown are not typical, may make no few earning
Alright,
claims, you may lose money, the trades express are the eternal audit, so all my trades get audited.
If that's the case.
Grant on Monday, and he track record has been amazing. So you're gonna have winners and losers. Please note that I lost about 15 grand last week, doing kind of risky trades. So I learned my lesson. No more space stocks, I'll tell you that much. But the profit.
All right, sorry about that, guys. It looks like for some reason the audio just stopped on the file. I'm gonna go switch the file really, really quick, and then I will go and fix that. It's give me 1 second to work through that little technical difficulty. Are there any upcoming promotions for Shadow Trader and Quick Flip renewals? There are. I'm not sure which one we're having first, but I can definitely investigate that one for you. Phil, yes, this is warped options. Let me just switch over to the other computer really, really quick to see if I can fix that weird sound issue. There's nothing like an end of day with some technical difficulties. Jim, this is a promotion that Lance is doing. I want to say we're probably closing it out sometime today-ish or tomorrow. And the service is essentially showing you how to get ahead of Wall Street using the tricks that they normally pull on people like you. And so we decided just to run it, just kind of based on what the market's looking like and everything. It seemed like a really good time to help you guys get into this program. As you probably heard me mention, it's warped options. Um, the options pit is a special trade room just for Lance. We currently are not selling it, but we do have plans to sell it soon. All right. Just got to log into the right Zoom room really, really quick. But it looks like the audio file is working on this computer, so hopefully Zoom doesn't act up funny. And once again, thank you guys for being patient with us as we're figuring out, weird little technical difficulties. Give me 1 second just to snag the right one. All right. Joining on this computer. I'm going to stop sharing. So you guys will see a blank screen just for a second as the other screen starts to take over. Let me hopefully snag that file.
Its performance shown are not typical, may no few earning claims. You may lose money. The trades expressed are from the internal audit, so all my trades get audited. Obviously, no one likes to get audited, but I have to because we present this to y'all. So it's fun when it's good, but obviously no one likes to get audited. These are real published alerts of the last year with the benefit, obviously, of hindsight to produce hypothetical returns. The result so far that we've done is 85.1% win rate, so probably the highest win rate you'll ever see, with a 38% average return. So usually when you have like an 85, 90% win rate, your average return is like 1 to 2%. But this is with winners and losers combined, 38%. Average hold time is 11 days. Every example is based on $2,500 unless otherwise. You can do $250, you could do 25,000, you could do, 1,000, 500. Of course, via your account, we all have different account sizes. We cannot guarantee any specific future outcome. There's always a degree of risk in the markets, and I think we all know that, especially more than ever. So I don't need to tell you the market has been a mess. We have people calling bottoms. We have people looking at moving averages. We have people, saying buy the dip. Well, we've seen it with our own eyes. Almost every trader I talk to is taking a beating. I had a buddy lose 120 grand on Monday, and he puked out. his cryptos and all that other jazz. And I'll admit, I've taken a few hits too. Like I said, last week I lost 15 grand. 15,000. And then on Monday, was Monday really just the other day? It was. On Monday, I put $250,000 into the stock market. So, you know, I love this market. I think this is the best stock market you will ever see because we have seen volatility. And this new kind of trade I've been doing in 2025 is on fire. So you can see I actually launched this officially with you guys and girls the first week of January. So right in here, you know, these are again real trades. I drove 4 hours to Jacksonville and we started the real trades right here. And y'all know CVS has been one of my big ones. CCL, DraftKings, that's one we did 15 times. CVS, healthcare, I did take a loss on Amazon. Microsoft, Lam Research, BABA, that one's a little bit more because they had a big pop. Disney, I took a loss. And Google, we just did a 50% in intraday. And it's not supposed to be intraday. It's usually, I would say 1 to 2 days and some, you know, we have some 8 days in there as well. So just want to be full transparent because, you know, I am in the stock market. I put my own money where my mouth is. So if I lose, I'll tell you. Racking up $18,759 in just 2 short months. So like I said, this has been kind of the booty saver of my trading account this year based on just a small stake. And it's been eating volatility for lunch, which is good. With a VIX over 20, this strategy actually is even better. So I want to show you how it's possible and why. I invite you to join me in a very different type of trade for me. Something you might be shocked to hear. Where I'm personally going to target another $1,000 windfall, no matter how crazy. So if the market goes up, down, sideways, doesn't matter. Now, like we shared at the beginning, I don't have a crystal ball. There will be always risk involved. I can't guarantee a winner. So I'd go to Vegas and put it all on, on crabs out there, or maybe roulette, put it all, or blackjack. But the best part about this very different type of trade is showing the power to pay over and over again. And we do about 1 to 2 trades per week out there. And we're not talking about winning 50 or 60% of the time, which anything over 55%, if you're doing a proper risk versus reward, is good, or 70%, but 85.1% of the time, including 10 out of 12 wins I've nailed in the last 2 months with a bigger gain. And I'm inviting you a handful of folks out there, very small, intimate groups, to target $1,000 this week. And let me be clear, you've been following me for the past 5 years, you will be shocked because I never thought I'd trade this way ever. But after the team put together, really published her name, a new internal audit. Jack also told me about this, Tom, and I was like, no. Well, I had to take notice. They sent me the record, and I was like, whoa. What they did was they overlaid a new option criteria to the published alerts that I was already sending out, already doing. I was left with no choice but to make this one exception. And I'll show you why in just a moment. Because this new data set in our audit shows real-time verified signals with a small account. You could do this, I have a small Robinhood account out there, but you can take, let's say, a 10K account, risk $1,000 or 10%. Over the last year, would have produced not 10 or 20 or 50 or 100, but more. And don't worry, we'll cover the exact numbers so you understand it. In fact, actually give you an option calculator with this so you can plug it and everything yourself. Because this audit contains some really incredible results. Now, the results are based on real published alerts, real time. Obviously, they're from the past. That's how they were able to write this. And we all know I don't have a crystal ball. So when I show you the audit, just know that it means this is not a get-rich-quick mentality. If you want to get rich quick, say, Lance, let's go to Vegas. I am dying to go because I would get rich quick in Vegas, and there's probably I'm going to walk out with that much. So this is the opposite of that. This was designed to show a new way to apply options, had the potential to stack up consistent gains like nothing else we've seen. I call it a warped option. And let me explain what this means. And if you're intrigued to see one of the most powerful ways to leverage one of the best strategies, hands down approach that lets you cash in even when you're not in front of the chart. So we put an automatic exit and target $1,000 starting tomorrow, which is good. That's what I want. I know most of y'all need it right now too, and I'm right there with you. I want 1,000 extra bucks. Go ahead, type yes in the chat, and I'll share all the details, and we could get the party started right now. And before we get there, so go ahead, I got the chat right here. I see Raleigh, Sunny, MJ, Ben, Jeff, Sunny, I like that name, Jen, Tomas, Kirk. I like Tomas a lot. It's a good name. Kale, Edith, I think I got that right. Phil, Jeremy. Now, before we dive in, most of you know me as short-term options. I love them. I did NEO the other day, did like 200%, but they are, full disclosure, a little bit risky, right? The short-term directions. For the last 5 years, I've traded what you would consider a regular options, like a call option on, I don't know, Microsoft or NVIDIA, right? Basic options, which makes it hard to trade directionally in today's market. We've seen that, ups and downs, gaps, ups and downs. Because the truth is, regular options, especially right now, more than ever, are rigged. I'll explain why and how they're priced to perfection in a few minutes. That's why for years now, the team, Jack, Tom, publisher Nate, were telling me the same thing. Imagine if we combine my directional trading and market timing with a higher probability trade structure. And I have to admit, they were right, because I'm usually high risk, low probability, right? When you have high returns, you usually have low probability. When you have high probability, you usually have low returns. So they were right. The numbers do not lie. And listen, given my track record, I don't plan on trading my core. I really didn't. I didn't want to get away, right? I usually say, stick to the girl you brought to the prom. I don't want to do anything different. In 2024, my flagship service had a 69% win rate, which is great for me and amazing. And if someone started with 10K, risk 10%, they could have stacked those positions to $63,304. And again, not hypothetical, back tested over the past 5 years, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Those were live, published, verified alerts sent out to members. They were enough to basically 6x an account. Now you can understand why I never traded any other way or never wanted to, because I was having good results. Really, the past 6 years I've traded since a retail independent trader. I did very well. But that was before, and obviously too, markets were going up and everything was kind of sunshine and roses. But that was before the internal audit that ran a new trade against my own published alerts. So since then, I've been rushing to get this presentation to you because the results were not only shockingly good, which you'll see in a moment, but this trade functions beautifully, very well. A matter of fact, all we have to do is place a quick trade when the system says go, kind of like go gadget, and then let it work out for us. Let it do all the work, and we'll automatically close for a nice juicy profit. The best part, it's not a coin flip. The audit shows an 85% win rate when we apply the structure to the real trade alerts. And if we go back to October 2024, kind of like the markets right now, they were in free fall. They were moving lower. But that didn't matter, not a bit. We took CVS, as you can see, CVS right there. You can go ahead, type it in, do whatever you want with it. And the stock, you'll see right here, it was chopping around. It's not looking great, usually directionally not doing good. But thanks to the new trade structure, a few days later, you could have automatically cashed out. That was 50%. The stock only moved $2. You could have placed it on your broker account
maybe went on the boat like I like to do during the day. And I do want to show you a losing trade though. This was Snapchat, little online social media name. It flagged a buy and it went against me. Took a loss. The regular options collapsed within a few days. Darn. And there it is. It took a loss, 20%. That's how you have to manage these kinds of trades when the options move so fast. But with the new trade structure, it's a totally different scenario. You could have set up the position with a few clicks here, walked away. It's that simple. Let the market do the work and cash us out with an automatic win when it works out. We don't manage the position while staring at the charts. And sure enough, Snap actually popped later in the week and would have made an automatic winner, even on that ugly looking chart. You could have been like I was the other day at Costco eating hot dogs. Just imagine, 2,500 bucks in, you were like me, and you did a regular option, you would have lost money, 520 bucks. If you didn't sell it, you would have lost 2,500 bucks. But when you warp the option in this new trade structure, it would have locked in a $1,250 win. Now here's another one. And again, that's a pretty big difference from a loss to a win. Now here's another one we'll get into a little bit because you can see why I wanted to change those losers into a winner. Of course, not every trade will be a winner, but we're going to have winners, losers. But I really mean when I say this is one of the strongest directional signals, but what it does is stacks the deck even more, stacks the probability in math. So if you're interested, and I'll show you more examples of wins and losses to find more consistency, higher probability, and actually when you add up the winners and losers, a higher win rate and winning percentage, one that doesn't require a ton of effort, thankfully, but showing the power to hit automatic wins with a crazy high accuracy, then buckle up because I'll show over the next few minutes, I'll walk you through exactly how these warped options work and more importantly, how this market maker phenomenon makes it possible, especially right now. Full details behind the shocking internal audit, and I'll invite you to place these trades with me. What we'll do tomorrow, live together, targeting $1,000 windfall. So welcome to Warped Options. Like I said, most people know me as a directional options trader, and my students have taken full advantage of that. Buck, Carson, ooh, Carson did net. Talked about that one this morning. John C. Dennis, Don from Vegas. Ooh, we actually have Don here, so it's always good to see Don. Joanne Allen. And while I'm not going to stop doing short-dated, high-risky, cheap options because I love them, but I am, this year and a half, apply something radically different. Supercharging my number one strategy and pairing it with this new trade structure to demonstrate these kind of results that you'll see. Allowing everyday folks to target automatic gains every week from the highest conviction trade setups. And I want to invite you to come tomorrow, be included. We'll get a text, email, telegram. We'll be targeting the next $1,000. And you can follow along and do it too. I'll walk you through it step by step. And take advantage of the strongest advantage in the stock market and put a supercharger on it. Now, I already showed a few examples, which were, October, crappy month, kind of like, March has been, including Snap that was a loser to a winner. But let's keep going. Here's Snap again. This one, I timed it well, got 12%. Yeah, okay, not bad. But the audit shows a 53% gain on the same trade, which is $1,000 in extra profits. Same entry, same exit date. But it gets even better if we fast forward to the next week. CVS, this was that pharma stock I did. Real life trading, I trade my own money. Stock went down, and then I got a pop. Stock went down, then it went up. The problem is, I was on a cruise. I missed it. The cruise had a really crappy Wi-Fi, internet. So I took a loss. By the time I got back into the port, I was in Key West. I checked it and stock went back down, then up a little bit, but I ended up taking a 33% loss. Now, here's where the trade structure really shines. The same trade would have cashed out with a 50% automatic win. Right there. Meaning you didn't have to manually exit or click the mouse or follow it or anything like that, be on a computer. You didn't have to watch it. Thankfully, you could have been on a cruise without the internet. It would have closed out automatically. So $2,500 would have been $1,250 in profits. Now that was a big difference compared to the loss, which, I'm sailing to the Keys, no internet, took a loss. This new trade structure would have been a nice win. So those are a few of the examples. An extra 3,000 in extra profits using warped options. Now, when you stack all of October, we had positive returns, you can see, over the course of 9 trades for a 66% win rate, but that was in a regular option for an overall down month for the market. But when we apply the new trade structure, same stocks, same stake, same entry and exits, they produced an $8,394 return and 100% winners. Now that's insane. And you're probably saying, what's the deal? What's the gimmick, Lance? Are you Hollywood Hulk Hogan in this gimmick? What's going on? I'll walk you through it. Don't worry. Obviously, not every trade will be a winner. Not every month will be all winners, but $8,394 can go a long way right now. That's enough to cover monthly expenses for most folks in the US, and that was during a down market. It didn't slow down from there. We traded CSX. Stock went lower. Regular options would have lost value. But the new trade structure, it would have ignored that noise and had a 50% win. The stock barely went higher. The regular options would be down in value, time decay, data decay as they call it. But with the warped option, it would have been a nice $1,250 winner. Same trade, same date, same ticker, just doing a warped option. Fast forward to November, we did this little quantum computing stock, QBT, made 30%, timed it well, had to monitor it though like a hawk. Here's the crazy part. Same ticker, same entry, everything else the same, would have been a 50% win. So I don't know about you, but I'd rather take 50% than 30%, and I didn't even have to manually close out the trade or be on the computer. That's almost double. The next week was Snapchat, 52%. Box, 50%. We walk through more, AAL, because this one I felt this pain, because it happened to me. I got in calls, the stock went sideways for 5 days. I thought, oh no, they're going to expire worthless. I ended up taking a loss. But if you did a warped option, placed the trade, walked away, let the market do the work for you, it actually would have been a juicy win. So when the stock was sideways, I was like, oh, this stock's not going to move. Let me get out. And I took a loss. But the warped option, you don't have to take a loss. You're not getting eroded by time or if the stock going sideways. Would have been 52%. All in all, for November, we had nice wins, 7 out of 8. The only one we lost was Foot Locker because that one had earnings, I should say. If you did 2,500 to each trade with the wins and the losses, would have been $6,399. Now, this is not some curve back test that only shows when the market's going up or anything like that. Every one of these results is based on identical entries issued in real time. The only difference is we applied the warped option trade structure to improve the accuracy. And when we did that, we went from a track record of plus 1,100 to over $1,500. Same tickers, same stakes, everything else the same. In December, let me show you what this is here in December, because the warped options, it's very, very simple, easy to do. Let me show you how it works. In 2019, I published a strategy that hit the world by storm. Institutional order flow, unusual option activity, whatever you want to call it. Basically, try to front run some of the biggest stock moves and follow institutional order flow. But the Wall Street institutions don't just buy the stock, they load up on options. Options give you leverage, right? Which is why when I left the institutional side of finance, I wanted to make that system that I created from the institutional side and use it as a retail trader. If you don't know, made a bunch of money, moved to Costa Rica on the beach, kind of was a hippie, retired, came back to Florida and said, you know what, I miss the markets. Let me start trading my own money. So what I did was I created something, and the company actually got bought out by the CBOE to track these orders in real time and give it to the retail trader. Some of you might know the news flow scanners, pretty much it. It will flag 30, 40 orders, 6, 7 figures, even 8 figures, and show them in real time. Shadow sweeps. And when an order hits, the stock can move. It could be news and pop the stock at any moment. The most powerful force in trading, right? That's why hedge funds, professional traders, top traders, all trade institutional order flow, right? It's the kind of the backbone of moving markets. But I was one of the first people to come out of this and expose this for regular investors, because I, like y'all, are probably at home on your computer, your laptop, your PC, your tablet, or at your office, and getting, buying, selling, trading, investing in the markets. Since 2019, we've issued thousands in my system. I have over 600 real-time alerts sent out. Then I wanted to work with folks, see, hey, this is how you can apply it. Here's some of the feedback we got from Cher and Todd. Todd says, I listen to many webinars week in and week out for years. Lance is among the best in the business, really cares, doesn't play any word games or any game. He just wants you to make money. And this is one of the very few that are consistent with their winnings. Cher says, over-delivers, won't be disappointed, loves to trade and trade people with them. I used to have a trade room back in the day with about 800 people, usually, I would say, pro traders or doctors, lawyers, high net worth individuals, traders, trading high 6 and 7-figure, 8-figure accounts. Mark Chasson, Mark did well, 10,000 on NVIDIA. Ronell, BB. And that's because I put together a good track record and, really exposed the business. So we've had some good returns since I got signed with Trading Press about 6 years ago. They pay me lots of money to do these webinars and share my software and programs with y'all. So it's cool. It's fun. I get to stay at home, wear my wrestling shirts, do all that jazz. Feel like I'm retired or semi-retired. But as good as money making is, I wanted to increase confidence in trading. So yeah, extra money could go a long way, but I wanted to improve probability. And that's what I've been saying. How can we improve probability in math? Well, the team, who they have now like 200 employees and auditors and all this people, they put this audit on my lap. All the audit did was apply new trade structure to the same setups I was already taking and published. And the net result was the win rate increase, 15%. All right, that's great. The average return about 2.7% or 2.7x higher. Now that was huge because, me, I shoot 20, 30% and then, try to get some home runs, but that was huge. But this was the biggest part. And especially if you're new to the markets, this is something you really want to see. And this is, I feel like, is the most pain that people have. The drawdown was much lower, 3 times lower. So let's say you risk $1,000 and it goes from 1,000 to $500. That's a pretty steep drawdown, right? You lost half your money. This lowered the drawdown to where you're not taking as much pain. And most amazingly, if you took a 10K account, risked 10% on 140 regular signals, that would have flipped to 63,000, about 6x return. So no one's going to complain about that. I mean, I'm not as well. I was thrilled with it, actually. I think last year was one of the best years for trading in the markets. But my jaw dropped when I saw the new audit show the same parameters, same risk, same amount per trade, but it turned into $219,000. So that was a 21x return in a year. Now that, again, was mind blowing. I said, this can't be possible. Obviously, you will have winners and losers, nothing is guaranteed. Don says, your scanners and programs are fire. Thank you, Don. Hope you're enjoying Vegas. Well, you live there, so I'm sure you do all the time. And as good as the data was, I was like, whoa, what's going on, guys? Give me, spill me the beans. I don't really trust anything. So share me the deets. What's going on? So that was obviously a huge gain, but all they really did was apply the warped option criteria to every single alert. So after seeing a number like that, I mean, I'm hard-headed, but I ain't that much of a fool. I said, well, let me start doing this. Let me do this week in and week out. Because the audit takes the same entries I made and warps the options on them, because there is a massive problem with regular options right now. You can trade directionally and still lose money, especially right now with volatility being high, because the option market is rigged against retail investors. Market makers are making a killing selling options to regular traders. And if you want to know why I've been doing that XSP trade each morning and telling y'all at 9 a.m., because the options that the market makers are selling to retail right in that range, they're crushing it right now. So all I'm doing is going a little bit outside that range each and every day. The truth is they want options to expire worthless. When you lose, let's say you buy a call option on Apple, and maybe it goes up a little bit, but it goes down money, they still win. They set you up for failure by setting the options right at the expected move. Now, market makers win about 97% of the time. So, they're winners. Obviously, that expected move tends to be a price the stock will not hit. So they keep all the profit. If you're not familiar with options, don't worry. You don't have to understand all that stuff to get warped options or take advantage of it. But the easy math, we'll call it, or the point, let me just go straight to the point. Most investors lose money on options. It's not because they're always getting direction wrong. It's because the options are rigged. That's right, they're rigged, especially on those stocks that so many people love to trade, like AMD, Microsoft, NVIDIA, SPY, rigged. Let me show you what I mean. In November, ticker coin, which is like, the Bitcoin mover stock, right? Coinbase. If you wanted to trade it, it would have cost you $2,000 for one contract. Now, the options were pricing in a 15% move. Just to break even on Coinbase. Let me repeat that. They were applying a 15% move on the stock just to break even, which means if you bought call options right there, in fact, I'll probably show you an example if I can right here. You bought calls right here, and the stock actually went higher. Look at this. It actually went higher. And you exited here, higher. The stock was up $28. The options lost money. The call options. I believe that's the number one issue traders face. Now, let me give you an example right here. Let's see if I can pull it up. I'm going to pull up the SPY. Okay? Let me do that. I want you to exactly to see what I mean. So I'm going to pull it up. Let me know if you can see this on the screen. Can you all see this on the screen right here?
Yep, looks good, Lance.
Okay. So this is the SPY. And these are the options. Make this a little bit bigger. That expire today. The S&P is up 1%, right? Go ahead. You can pull it up and look at it. It's up 1%. It's a pretty big move. $5.30. the options, look at them, are down money. 44%, the at the money option. 22%, 33%, 52%, 62%. How? The put options are down 80%, 70%, 90%. How is this possible? How? How could the stock, this is the S&P, this is the market. It's up $5.30 and the options are down in value. How is that possible? You go to tomorrow, still down. Unless you bought these $6, $7 options. You go to Friday. These are still down here. What, you're gonna make 5% if you're lucky and catch a 1% move in the overall market? How is that possible? That's the issue most people face when they're trading. You get direction right, you did everything right, you timed the markets perfectly, but you still lost money. You did everything right. You called it, you bought calls, the stock is up, the market's up, but you're down money? What? And I actually had a buddy call me that. He actually called me the other day and said, Lance, I'm doing call options. I'm right, stock will pop at the open, I sell it, and I'm still down money. I have to overcome that on every single trade on regular options. And thankfully, our directional trading has been good enough to build a great track record despite that. That exact moment turned the light bulb on. We were doing very well on directional trades, but especially right now, with VIX over 20, I wanted a way to leverage the same approach, but warp the option to give bigger advantage. Not only to increase probability is the main goal, but also turn some small wins into juicy 50% winners. Now, it's not just a crazy theory. We ran an internal audit against the real issue trades that we did, and exactly what we saw. Chewy, November 4th, stock went up 2%. Market makers thought it was going to go up more. While the stock went up, the options went down. Damn. It's a common nightmare for most folks out there. But if we warp those options and do everything else the same ticker, same entry, everything else, it would have turned to a 50% return. Meaning for every $2,500, that would have been a $1,600 in net profit difference from a loss to a win. So we're not talking about a minor enhancement, we're talking a game changer. This gave me an advantage almost everything else I've ever seen. But not just that Chewy trade, it happened in BP. We timed this one right. We took a profit, 19%, great work. But you probably know what I'm going to say. When we warped the option, 51%. No brainer. It's pretty insane. Trades like that are why I took that audit so seriously, and it helped increase the win rate to 85%. The average return, and that's including losses, 38%. Total return over 219,000. So I can't wait for tomorrow and to do it with y'all live. So I'm going to invite you to come tomorrow, do it live with me, get signed up right now, or target $1,000 this week. Not just that, we'll go over the entire strategy, hand holding as much as we can. If I got to do it 20 times, I will. So I want y'all to be able to do this each and every week. Join me, what could be the most valuable class we've ever done, and take advantage of this new secret weapon for 2025, especially right now where we have volatility up, because that gives us even better probability and math. Makes the strategy even better. And follow along as we target that $1,000 windfall to the warp option alerts. In the membership, we take the most powerful market force, most favorable, high probability trade structure, and we let it do the work for us. very straightforward. We do all the heavy lifting each week. We do 1 to 2 alerts. Then we apply the warped option technique to give it the highest profit and probability. We not only send you the alert, we screenshot it, the entry, the automatic exit, and we actually include the calculator so you know exactly black and white what the numbers are. Very simple, easy to do. You can do it in any broker account. We give you the date, the ticker, the option, the price to pay, and the most critical element, the automatic exit. And I actually screenshot you when the automatic exit hits. We do everything for you. You just click the button and you're done. No staring at the screen, no waiting for the exit, no guessing when to get out, no losing sleep. You follow the instructions, follow the screenshots, and you're good to go. When I spotted a trade in UL, sent out a buy alert, stock did nothing, took a loss. Now, when we warp the option, put your automatic exit plan. You could have been out doing your thing. You didn't have to even open your computer. 51% gain. Automatically triggered. Turning what could be a loss into a win. So I'm guessing everyone here wants an extra $1,200 or an extra $1,000. So I cannot wait to share this with you and do it with you when you get signed up today. We'll reveal the entire method behind this, how you can do this. You want to do it more than once or twice a week, you can. We'll be targeting $1,000 each week. I'll teach you the warped option strategy. We'll cover your answers, the questions with answers on the spot, screen share, show you how to do this trade on multiple broker accounts, even if you want. They're using Schwab, Fidelity, E-Trade, Robinhood, those are all fine. You'll be invited to our masterclass, which will be tomorrow. Now, publisher Nate said this would be worth $1,900, but of course that's included. Now, to make sure you're comfortable and you're confident, here's what we did. We created a calculator. We give this calculator to you, and we actually screenshot it too, so you can plug in the numbers if you want. You just want to look at the screenshot and confirm it, you can as well. I'll give you both. Plug in the price you're paying, and it will automatically generate the automatic exit for you, which is really cool because you can apply these warped options to other opportunities in the market. Let me recap this quickly. So number one, you're going to get the warped option alerts at least once a week, targeting $1,000 with screenshots, automatic exit, full details, text, email, telegram alerts, everything you need to follow along, and you can even check it, make sure the screen looks exactly the same. 50 plus opportunities, same ones that you'll see on the track record. Tomorrow, we have the live masterclass, which will include the training, putting on the trade live together, and covering questions and answers. We'll be targeting $1,000 windfall. On top of that, you're getting the option calculator, which makes this even simpler to do. We want to make it easy, simple to do, meaning you'll be able to do maybe some bonus trades if you want. Now, you can see why I'm so happy and why I love this strategy so much. I mean, the numbers don't lie. And why this year it's been a game saver for me. Now, you're probably wondering how much will it cost? Sounds expensive. I get it. I'll share with that in a moment, but we have a couple tricks up our sleeve, at least publisher Nate wanted to share. We want to make this a no-brainer for you. So here's what we did, including one of the most valuable pieces, the compounding blueprint. If you want to grow a small account or maybe you have a bigger account, this is very important, and we give this to you as well. Compound, you often hear compound interest, compound interest. Compounding is very, very important. This is not something you do short term. This is something you can apply long term and scale it as well. We'll walk you through the guide for these multiple account growing techniques, and it's included with your membership today. And speaking of this week's $1,000 live trade, we'll be tracking it. We have a full audited, transparent trade tracker so you can get the same results as the model portfolio and you compare it. We give you the full prices, the full breakdown. Heck, we even screenshot you the entries and exits. You know exactly what to do. I wanted to make this simple, easy as possible. Now, it is pricey. Let me just share the details. It is pricey. But we have something very, very special for you today. So let's get down to business. How much will it cost? So when I said it's pricey, I'm not lying. It's $4,000. That's because Warped Options had the power to generate 2.x7 total profits higher. That's almost 3 times higher profits than regular trade alerts. So publisher Nate took $1,500 times 2.7 and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, good deal. Listen, no BS. $4,000 is a lot of money. And I just spent $12 on eggs at Sprouts. You're not going to pay anywhere near that. I will not let publisher Nate make anything $4,000. So when we started this in 2025, I said, hey, let's try to put some money back into people's pocket. So we took $1,000 off. Yeah, that's good, but that's not enough. I mean, $1,000 is great, but $3,000 is still a lot. Now, based on the track record, which we had that incredible 219,000, publisher Nate said, Lance, we're not doing less than 3K, but I had an idea. I gave away money. Actually, it was $900 because I didn't have change in downtown Tampa to this lady here. She said she actually was going to go buy some Bitcoin. Whew, that probably didn't work out well for her. But I gave her $870, really $900 because I didn't have change. And cold hard cash by answering some questions on the market. So I thought, hey, why don't we just give everyone that money back? So we're applying another $870 off, which means you could take advantage for $2,171, a little over $2,000. But we have more tricks up our sleeve. So let's get into them. I want this year to be the best. And right now, this is the best time to be involved in the stock market. So I'm so happy you're here. So we decided to take it to a different level. We wanted to give you a year free. That's right, a year free. Now, all you have to do is join. And once you do, your membership won't kick off till 2026, making 2025 officially on the house. After that, it will renew as normal, but you basically get a year free. That's pretty cool. So if you want to take advantage of this, not just 50 trades, but around 100 plus trades, save $1,870, get an additional year free. Come tomorrow. If you can't come tomorrow, don't worry. We'll still send you the alert via text, email, telegram. We'll screenshot everything for you. So don't worry if you can't make it. Targeting that $1,000 windfall, plus all the trainings. We do these at least once a month. We do trainings where we put on the trades with y'all and get 2025 on the house. Click the link in the chat. Get signed up right now. Go to lanceapolito.com/buy. Probably just posted it in the chat. And when you do this, you'll increase your probability. You increase your winning percentage. The average return is higher than any other program. And it works perfectly in this market right now. I can't stress that enough. It works perfectly in this market. So call 904-706-3539 if you need to talk with someone. Or you can click the link in the chat. Now, once you lock in your membership, do not close the next page. We have lifetime access, and we've had so many people take advantage of this, so I want to thank you. Never have to worry about paying again. It is only available if you click the link in the chat or call 904-706-3539. You get 2 years for the price of one, or if you want lifetime, there's a massive discount. And come tomorrow, we'll be targeting an extra $1,000. We do at least 1 or 2 trades a week. Very easy to do, very low cost as well. So maybe saying, Lance, I saw you trade Google and Baba. Those are pricey. Not when we warp the option. Here's some feedback we got, Wes, $2,240. Greg, 8K. Todd, $110,000. Very good. Very well. 102%. 465%. So let me go over some questions. Because I'm sure you're like, Lance, give me some more details. This sounds absolutely bonkers, the stuff you usually do. What is a warped option? How are you seeing these results? How can you do it? Eric says, can you show me the next TKO stock? Oh, I got a lot. I got a lot of them I've been buying, especially that one. But I'll share details tomorrow. We'll run through a handful of names tomorrow, by the way. So if you have questions, come. It's included with your membership. We want to make sure you're trading, you're educated, you're confident, and I'll show you how to set up the automatic exit. You don't have to actively manage or follow the stock market all day or look, oh my God, the S&P, what is it doing? You don't have to worry about all that stuff. Honeywell, we did 50%. TFC, a little bank, 51%. Peloton, 52%. Dozens more. Now, you probably noticed, Lance, I see everything around 50%. What's the deal, man? So based on the audit, and we're not going to be too greedy, that was the ideal profit target based on real trades. But you might wonder, what if we want for more? Well, you can. And that's that BABA example where we made 170%. You can do more. Here's something I bet you didn't know. Tomorrow, I think we're going to do 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. All I'm doing is waiting for Deanna to give me the time. But we'll send you an email, text, telegram. We'll probably do the telegram a few different times. And it will be in the members area tomorrow. But don't worry, they'll send out text, email, telegram, all that jazz with the time. Either 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. With our automatic exit, we have a shot at bigger moves. Like Square, the stock gapped up. Now here's the cool part. It went above 50%, which means you could have got a better price, 117%. GameStop, 115%. Chewy, 105%. So we set our automatic exit at 50%, but sometimes we're able to get more. And that makes sense because we're using a specific warp option trade structure. Another question. What if you have a small account? Can you do this? Yes, you can. The average trade is around 100 to 200 bucks. And we're doing big stocks, Google, Microsoft, BABA. So absolutely you can start small and scale over time. If you have a bigger account, obviously you can do more contracts. If you have a 401k, IRA, you can do this as well. Regular broker account, that's fine. Schwab, Fidelity, E-Trade, Interactive Brokers, Robinhood, all fine. I use a few of them. There's defined risk on every trade, which is really, really good right now in this market. So go ahead, click the link in the chat. lanceapolito.com/buy. Jen says, how soon do you need to place the trade? Very good question. So there's no rush to get into. Obviously, the market, things can move quick. We've only had one trade where we closed out later in the day, and that was Google because it had like a $5 move. But usually, all you have to do is get in by end of the day. So let's say we send out a trade tomorrow at 2 p.m. Just try to get in before 4 p.m., the closing bell. That's it. No rush. You don't have to rush the computer or anything. It's not like a weekly 5 cent, 10 cent option. So no major like quick move. How do the automatic exit plans work? Good question. Each alert I send will have the exact entry, criteria, and detailed preset target for the automatic exit. So we calculate it, we send you a screenshot, we actually give you the option calculator, you just have to plug it in, and you're good to go. With warped options, we're not waiting around, staring at charts all day, thankfully. We let the market do the work. From our exits, automatic, boom, regardless of what happens. How does the risk work? Is it open-ended? No, absolutely not. The risk is what you pay, and that's it. And like I said, we usually do $1 to $2. That's 100 to 200 bucks a contract. So if you do 10 contracts, it'd be $1,000 to $2,000. Very, very easy, low price, very risk control. What dollar amount are you risking to target $1,000? Very good question. That would be $2,000 of risk to make $1,000 of profit, hence that 50%. So 50% of 2,000 is 1,000. Perfect. Simon says, is there a fixed day you issue the trade? Tomorrow will be our live session, Simon, so we'll be going out tomorrow. But usually, if we don't have a live session where we do the trade and the masterclass on a day, usually it will be either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. No Fridays. Lastly, let's recap this. The win rate's 85%. The average return, 62% on the wins, with wins and losses, 38%. And, well, here's some little math there. 38% basically wins and losses together, which means you have a positive expectancy of $951 on every position with a $2,500 stake. So that's total. What we do is we target 50% higher. So Publisher Day was very kind to share this, hire the auditing team to go over everything, be able to showcase this. And this has truly saved my booty in 2025 with the market. So save $1,000 plus $870 today. Click the link in the chat, lanceapolito.com, or go to 904-706-3539. Let me get into questions in the chat, Raleigh. Average hold time, Mary, really good question, is right around 4 to 8 days. So 4 to 8 days. So we don't have really any positions ever overlap.
Okay, so from that standpoint, Lance, I guess it's possible that somebody could be in two positions at once.
Possible, Raleigh, but we've only had that happen one time so far.
I got you. Got you covered. Another question that came up, when you issue the trades, is there a particular time of the day when they come out, Lance? I think people are trying to think about their availability. Is this before the close or around noon or?
Usually, Raleigh, Monday through Thursday. There's no set time. Obviously, when we do the classes, we do them in the class and then we send them via text, email, telegram.
Right.
But no set time exactly.
Okay, so it could be, I guess it really depends on the opportunity, but when you issue the alert, I guess time of day, is that also variable?
Yeah, we usually don't do it no later than I would say 3 p.m. though, Raleigh. We try to do it, usually we try to do it, and all people have to do is get in by the end of the day. So no huge rush out there. We have a couple questions. John says, is this a 1-2-1 butterfly? Heck no, brother. Woo, no.
You lost me at 1.
Yeah, those are very difficult to do in terms of you're paying a boatload in commissions and you're basically looking for the stock to do nothing, which we all know stocks are not doing nothing. So all we're doing is we're doing a call. We're warping it by turning it into a call spread. So that's it. So it's a debit spread. And then what we do is, let's say we pay $1 for that spread. Let's say we do the 100 or 105 warped option or a bull call spread for $1. We'll look to take profits at 50% of that. And we do that each and every week. Or let's say we do it, the stock's at $20 and we do the 2021 for 50 cents. We'll sell it at 75 cents. So that'll be 50%. So everything is limited risk, limited reward. And if you have a gap up, you can actually get more than that 50%. So you can actually get more depending on the trade. There's a 14-day money back guarantee. Ray, there's a cancellation option, 14-day money back guarantee. If you have a small account, that's fine. You can start small, obviously, and scale over time. But I would say at least have about a $2,000 minimum account.
Yeah, and to that point, Lance, you mentioned that the average contract cost is $100. Well, under this program, if you go with one contract, your expectation is that you're going to make $50.
Exactly. So you can always start small and scale. There's no, a lot of people say, hey, I gotta, get rich quick and everything like that. No, but what it does do, it truly does add up over time. So for example, in DraftKings, when I have 15 contracts, I mean, obviously that worked out very well. Did 50%, but you can see if you have, all different account sizes, if you want to put more than $2,000 in, right? You put $2,000 in, you'll look to target $1,000. You put 200 in, you look to target $100 each week. So that's how really even those small increments, obviously you train a big account, put 20 grand in, you target 10 grand a week. But when I say add up, I mean that because we do at least 1 to 2 trades a week. So you're not having to time the market perfectly. And then let's say it doesn't work out. You're not taking that full 100% loss like you would with a regular option. So the average return is, and again, this sounds crazy, 38% with wins and losses. Just the wins itself are right around 68%. And we shoot for 50%, but we've had a few, like Alibaba the other week, where we had 170%. Lam Research, the semiconductor, actually could have gotten a lot more, but we did 50% on that one. Microsoft 50%. Google
Did a big one in Google and VIX. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have, you might be saying, well, these are big stocks and stuff. They are, but when you warp an option, you don't have to pay an arm and a leg for these options. So it's really, really beneficial out there. And it's been really, really good this year, especially with the markets, kind of being all over the place and stuff like that. It's truly done it very, very well for us. Raleigh, can you answer Telvin's question?
Yeah, so he says the first year is on the house free and the I will, but no. The way it works is this: you buy the program today. You don't get to use the program for all of 2025 and then buy it on January 1. You purchase the program today. You're essentially getting 2 years for the price of one, or 1 year and 9 months for the price of one. And so that's what Lance and the publisher put together, is when you sign up today, we're going to give you the rest of 25, and you're also going to get 2026 as well. And that's for $21.71.
Perfect. Thank you, Raleigh. Mm-hmm. And we have a question. What is the average loss? So let me actually pull that up for you, just so you can see it. You see we've had 80% winners. We've only had 3 losers since we started the strategy. So the only losses we've had is 66% out there. So like I said, and we've done this since we started with CVS here on January 10th on the real issue trades. So just a full transparency track record, because I'm very, very proud of it. You could go ahead in the members area, see for yourself, watch the trainings as soon as you sign up too. There's so many trainings as there in the getting started, and get prepared for the class tomorrow. So bring your questions, come, I'll walk you through the setup step by step. We have Jeremy, my new trade assistant, will be there too. If you have any questions,
oh, great.
He can answer, so no one's left in the dust. We usually have around 50 to 75 people, so it's a small, intimate setting as well in there. So very, very cool, especially right now. You'll get educated. You get the chance for some real big potential gains that we've been able to have this year. And you're pretty much hooked up, not only for this year, the rest of this year, but also for next year. And Raleigh, it's only, like you said, we have a huge discount today, almost $2,000 off.
Yeah.
About $1,870 off. So that's insane, gang. I have to run though. I got some more trainings I have to do for folks out there. But make sure You get signed up today so you can join tomorrow, and we'll give you the full details. It will be either at 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. tomorrow, the training. They're just working on getting the Zoom link and everything on the schedule. Either 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. If you want a
Right.
freebie, go to the Telegram, and remember I gave you letter X yesterday. It's up 4% today. It was up 6% yesterday, so that's a 10% move in the stock. And if you want to trade it, you could do like the 40, maybe like the 40, 45 warped option call spread.
Yeah, and I'm going to post for those of you that do not have Lance's public Telegram. There it is, folks. It's right there in the chat panel. You can click on it. It's free, and get set up on Telegram, and you'll be in touch with everything that Lance posts on Telegram. Very, very popular way of communications. Lance, thank you so much